Chapter 8. Learning the Night. Daniel's muscles ached from all the tension throughout the night so far, and the four of them took a break to move closer to the downstairs bathroom. The shadows were forming, as if it was a little difficult to hurt them where they stood near the fire of the fireplace, but they needed to get closer to water. Under the sink in the bathroom was a small bucket that they could use to make their way to the car, and then they might be able to get away from the nightmare or whatever was holding them captive in the cabin. Outside, the forest pressed close, the trees motionless, yet alive with unseen movement. Darkness had grown thicker as if the night itself had learned patience, but they were everywhere. Mom shivered in the corner, knees drawn up and arms wrapped tight around herself. Why won't they leave?" she whispered. Daniel studied them both without speaking. The shadows weren't random. They reacted to fear, to hesitation, to panic. They learned. Every time a parent shouted, tried to fight, or prayed for protection, the shadows observed and adjusted. Why does it do this? It goes on and on inside the cabin. It is confusing. What are the shadows waiting for? They have been standing on the wall for more than an hour, moving slowly to the bathroom. They go on talking, on sounds. The dark fingers feel on the ground, and the shadow floats to the ceiling and back to the floor. Mom and Dad, they're moving with our sound and our fear. We have to try to ignore them just until we can get to the bathroom. When we get to the bathroom door, then Dad has to fill the bucket under the sink with water so we can use it all the way to the car. "Okay, Daniel," his dad said behind him. "My wife, I know you're scared, but we have to be strong, especially for Lily." With that said, they moved closer and closer to their plan, hoping that they can make it. Every few minutes, a shadow would surge toward them. They didn't attack directly. Instead, they bent the room itself to pressure the family. Every small movement was amplified, every instinct tested. "They can't touch us if we don't show fear," said Daniel. "How do you stop feeling, Daniel?" Mom asked, confused. "I don't, Mom, but we have to try, even if we just can hide our fear for a few seconds." Hours passed, and Daniel counted their small steps toward the bathroom. Slow and steady, they moved as a unit. Mom leaned against the wall, silent and trembling, tears running down her cheeks. I can't," she whispered. Daniel silenced her. "Quiet," he said. "This wasn't a fight they could win by strength. This is a puzzle. Like chess, slow and steady you can win. But go fast and recklessly and you will die, and if they understood the rules, they could survive." They moved so slowly. With every heartbeat, the shadows moved to the rhythm, following the sound. If they can just make it to the bathroom. Maybe they can sit under the door with wet towels if the bucket doesn't work. Maybe they can wait until the sun comes up. The shadows will then flee from the light. Her small hand found his, squeezing. "They'll leave when the light comes." "They'll have to," he said, though his own confidence felt fragile. "But until then, we survive." The shadows pulsed again, brushing against furniture and curling over chair legs. A faint ripple passed across the room, as if it were breathing in sync with them. Daniel realized it wasn't random. They were learning, adapting to every heartbeat, every flicker of tension. Daniel tensed, his pulse thumped in his ears. They're learning fast. He whispers more to himself, as for all of them. The one tendril in the corner reached toward them and paused, hovering and measuring them one by one. Then it retreats to the other corner of the living room. Daniel exhaled without realizing he'd been holding his breath. He looked at Lily, his eyes were wide. Fear, exhaustion. They had survived another escalation, but the night was still not over. Daniel tightened his hold on Lily's hand, feeling her small, steady pulse against his, her eyes closed to help her keep her fear away. Mom and Dad are holding each other for comfort to keep their fear under control, for they are all so full of fear, but they need to hide the fear, or they will die of this darkness, these shadows sweeping, crawling before them.